What's going on, everybody? This is going to be a video working on the Honda. So what we're going to do is some new front door speakers. Not actually new, but used. But they've been lying around for a little while, and they're definitely going to serve a better purpose in here than lying around. They're going to sound pretty good, I'm hoping. So they're actually a separate setup. So it's a 6.5-inch door speaker with I don't know, 1.25 or 1.5-inch tweeter. And it's a separate two-speaker setup. So there's a crossover as well that decides which speaker gets what frequencies. So those three things have to get installed. So we're going to start by taking off the door panel on this car. So I'll show you guys exactly what I'm looking at here. So for the door panel to come off, we have to do, there's a screw right there, and there's a screw in here. And then this little sail panel has to pop off, and then I think the rest of it just pops off with a bunch of clips that are in the back, and then it lifts up over the lock. And then we should have the door panel off, be able to unplug that light there, and then the whole door panel should come right off, and then we can get a look at that speaker. So I'm gonna do that right now, and we'll pick back up from there. This point, and you have this handle pulled off after you taken the screw out there, you're going to see this little purple clip on here. You just got to push this off the rod like this. It's kind of tough to do with one hand, but if you can see, maybe I'll get it with this tool here. This has to be pushed off. See, like that. So once that's pushed off, that rod will just lift right out of there. Once you can lift the rod out, and you can pull this off. You just want to be careful not to bend that rod in there. That's what controls the locking mechanism of the door itself. So yeah, and then after that, this panel should come right off, lift right up and come off. Alright, so there's our panel removed, and here's our speaker that we're going to get to. These guys are pretty toasted, so I'm going to go ahead and bust these guys out right here. There's one more. 4 screws total. We have our little connector down here that we will unplug. And that's the old speaker. She's toasted, but here's our connector here. So what we're gonna do is cut this off, find out which one's positive and negative. I'm gonna assume that our red wire here is gonna be positive. Brown's probably gonna be negative, but I'll look it up just to make sure. And then we'll see if we can fit our new speaker in this spot. So I've gone ahead and marked the holes that I'm going to be drilling. Got one up top here. And then one over here. Had to be careful on that one because there's a wiring harness, but I'm gonna go ahead and drill out these holes a little bit. Fortunately, I won't be able to mount the fourth hole or the fourth screw because it's right here. I could have shifted it, but yeah, the speaker doesn't seat perfectly, so we're just gonna do the best that we can. So right now I'm ready to mount the speaker. I'm gonna check the wiring diagram online, but I'm assuming this is positive. And I was able to remove the factory connector while preserving the actual terminals in there. So this hooks right up onto the power, and this should hook up onto the ground. So I'm gonna hook it up that way. Pretty sure that's the way it's gonna go. And then on the speaker, this separate setup has this, which diverts the power out of the speaker and into this crossover that I have sitting up here. And this crossover sends our signal to the tweeter, or only the higher signal. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook all those connections up and screw in our speaker, and then we can get set routing our tweeter. So you can probably see that I put the speaker in down here. Let's see if I can show you with the light. Put the speaker in down here, just the 3 screws. I hooked up the connection for the crossover, and these terminals right here have to go to these 2 on the tweeter, and then this tweeter up here will be powered. So all I did was set this up and mark a couple of holes in the sail panel here. And what you want to be careful of is make sure that this will close. I'm like really close, like this touches the actual dash piece. Well, you can't see it it's off film now, but when it closes, it's gonna come up against your dash. So just make sure that you're not gonna contact your dash in any area here. I could have gone up a little bit higher with this. It would have made me happier, but it's okay. On the other side, you know, we'll see if we can fit it maybe a little bit higher, but I think we're gonna be just fine on this side. I don't feel like re-drilling it, so looking good. What we gotta do is make this connection down here, and then after we do that, we should be able to hear this thing play, and we'll see how it sounds. So the door speaker is hooked up, and the tweeter is also hooked up. Both of them are playing, so I got a little bit of music on. We'll see. It sounds pretty good. It's rattling the door, like there's things rattling in the door. So yeah, it sounds much better. I'm excited to have everything all closed up and the car all sealed up. It'll sound much better with a smaller sound stage. But yeah, for what the system is, I think it's gonna sound pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get that door panel all back together, and we'll see how it sounds after everything's all back together and closed up. So I got the door panel back on, and the speaker is fully installed. We got our tweeter right here looking great. We know our 6.5 is down in there. This thing sounds pretty good. I still have yet to do the other side. There's no tweeter over there yet, but yeah, I'll get to it soon. It doesn't take too long. I've just been busy, but yeah, it sounds a lot better. I can't wait till I get the other side hooked up, because this system's gonna jam. For the small amount of money I spent on it, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. But yeah, so more things to come for the Honda. I got a new shift boot and shift knob that just came in, so look forward to a video on that. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like the video. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.